Welcome to the Experience Gap, the insight shop to the rescue where we turn standout customer moments into playbooks for businesses. Each week, we bring you real stories of experiences that delight customers, highlight the moments that matter most, and equip businesses with strategies to consistently wow the people they serve. I'm Kate Complin, the owner of the Insight Shop. I created this podcast to give customers a voice, to share not just their frustrations, but also the experiences that went wonderfully right, in hopes that companies will listen, learn, and take action. Your customers are your most important asset, and their positive stories hold the blueprint for better experiences. Joining me today is Shmuel Saklad, who is a senior manager in B2B contact center operations with more than a decade of hands on experiences supporting government, education, and enterprise customers. He has led large teams through change, strengthened day to day processes, and driven service improvements that make customer support clearer and more reliable. Known for his people centered approach with a steady leadership style, Shmuel combines practical ground experience with a focus on building teams that stay calm, collaborative, and customer focused no matter the challenge. Shmuel, it's great to have you on my podcast.
Hey, Kate, thank you so much. This is really a pleasure to be here.
So, Shmuel, tell the audience about a recent experience you had with Verizon that really impressed you. What
Yeah.
happened and how did it make you feel as a customer?
I recently had the opportunity where your phone comes up and you're ready for the upgrade and you're like, "Oh, I got to get ready." This is that dreaded experience where you go to the store, you go through the whole process, and you never know how it's going to go. Sometimes it goes really smooth, and sometimes there's these hiccups. I'm just mentally preparing myself for a potentially challenging experience. I went to the store. My son came with me, and which was like another added factor of I have to now watch him run around the store and touch everything. But, we went to the store and I got, this really nice sales agent who came over. The store was packed. Like also this was Black Friday weekends, right? So it was that Sunday and it was, the extra pressure of like, I'm sure it's going to be crazy at the store. The sales associate comes over to us and, he's, the usual, how can I help you? What are you looking to do? I'm looking to upgrade my phone. And I was also looking to potentially add a tablet depending on the promotions and what was happening. He was really patient and he walked me through all the different options and explained, in detail. I was looking at trade in this phone and what potential options are there, what choices do I have, and what are the current promotions. And there are a lot of different permutations that you can do, in this process. And he very nicely and patiently went through all the different choices with me and and said, okay, if you went with this plan and if you went with this phone, here's how much you would pay, and here's the changes to your plan. And he even went the extra step to give me some other promotions that were available that he really didn't have to do. I didn't ask about adding another line, and there was some promotion. If you add a line, you get an extra credit. And I wasn't looking to do that when I walked in. And
Yeah.
he basically worked with me saying, it would only be pretty small difference what I was paying, and I'm getting an extra line to, an extra phone to just have. It was just that opportunity where somebody going that extra mile and really showing you what's possible and what's out there, and treating me as a customer and
Mhm.
also as a human, as a person, and connecting with me, understanding what I was looking to do, and working with me to get all possible options on the table and see what worked best for me as a customer. When we went through the whole process and okay, we're getting to the point we have to now change over all the data on the phone to the new phone, and it was this crazy hiccup. I don't know. It was just like one of those technical glitches where my old phone wasn't connected to my new phone, and we were going back and forth and back and forth. I really don't know what the technical parts of it, but something
Uh-huh.
happened. And he could have said, I'm sorry, I don't know, it's having an issue. Well, you're just going to have to go home and fix it at home or call corporate. Stood there with me at the
Yeah.
station, and he got his manager over and his manager tried. And between the two of them, back and forth for at least 30, 40 minutes.
Wow.
Eventually, yeah, it worked. And they were both so patient and kind through the whole process. It's just one of those things. Technical things happen, and
Yeah.
easily you could just say, I got to get to my next customer and I'm sorry. But they really took the time and patience with me, and went the extra mile, and it was a great experience for me. Treating me as a customer like that, whereas to me, that really was an opportunity that stood out to me.
Wonderful, Shmuel. Thank you for sharing that story. And as you think about that experience, what were the key moments that mattered most to you? The points that really had to go well for you to feel like this was such a great experience?
First, it was the point where he showed me like these two different options where you can keep the same number of phones that you have, or you
Uh-huh.
can, add an extra line and pay an extra whatever it was $10 a month. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
no brainer there. That was like one key moment where it took more time to
Right.
walk through the different choices and show me A and B. He could have just moved to the next customer and moved along. That was a key moment for me. And then the moment that mattered more to me was troubleshooting, where you're past the sale part of it and now you're in that service and support element where they really went the extra mile and sat there and made sure I wasn't leaving until it was done. And that really mattered to me a lot.
What were the points across the experience where something could have gone wrong, but they handled it so well that it actually reinforced your confidence in them?
Yes, certainly this troubleshooting, the support element, where it's a busy day, end of a holiday weekend, you want to go home, you want to get to your next customer, close up, and you want to rush out, and they could have said you have to figure it out later or call corporate. That really stood out where they took that time and opportunity and really emphasized to me that this store, this company is what matters to them.
In summary, if you were advising other companies based on this experience with Verizon, how would you describe the ideal playbook for getting this right? What are the top one or two things you tell leaders they must do to create an experience like the one you had with Verizon?
I think it's really, not I think it's really important to think about what your metrics are. Metrics matter and metrics drive behavior. If your metrics are about sales and closing sales and how quickly are you moving through a sale, from person walks in to person walks out the door, that's easily going to drive behavior to get people out the door. And okay, the sale is done. Now you got to go, right? Because I need to get my next sale. If your metrics are about resolution and satisfaction, that's going to drive very different behaviors. Where that's what happened here, where they were about making sure I was happy as a customer, and that's really what mattered to them. So I think really important is what metrics really matter, and metrics drive behavior. You need to think about what metrics you're measuring, and therefore what behaviors is that driving.
Because you had such a great experience, you're willing to share it on this podcast. I'm sure you shared it with other people. And in terms of loyalty, what does that make you feel as it relates to Verizon?
It was a very happy experience and definitely reinforces my commitment to the company and to staying with them. Whereas if it was a poor experience, I'd probably think about there are a lot of good offers out there. Maybe I should switch plans. But this showed me that this is what they're committed to, and no one's perfect, but this is what mattered, and that's why I'm sticking with them.
I'll leave you with this. According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index, Verizon's customer satisfaction improved year over year from 74 in 2024 to 75 in 2025. JD Power 2024 US Wireless Retail Experience Study showed Verizon to rank highest among the mobile virtual network operator with a score of 888 out of 1,000 and a score of 818 for overall retail satisfaction among the major retail network operators, which evaluated retail experiences that occur via visits to a carrier store. And the two factors that contributed to the overall score were cost and promotions. So, how good and understandable the deals feel. So, that was your direct experience. And the purchase process, how smooth it is to get to the right plan or solution.
Yeah, definitely I felt that experience.
And great customer experience aren't magic, they're designed. So, Shmuel, you talked about metrics and the importance of metrics and how that
Hmm.
does design and determine what the process is going to look like for you as a customer. So if your customers are getting different answers depending on who they talk to, if your frontline teams are improvising, or if you're losing people at the choose a plan, make a decision moment, that's the experience gap and it's fixable. If you want to know what's really happening in your customer journey and what to change first, reach out to the Insight Shop. We'll help you uncover the friction, identify the moments that matter, and turn these into practical actions your team can execute. Thank you, Shmuel, for sharing your story about your experience with Verizon, the moments that matter most to you, and your blueprint for how more companies can create experiences like this.
Thank you, Kay. This has really been a pleasure, and it's great that you're doing this. We talk so much about the negative experiences, but it's
Yeah.
good that we talk about the positives as well.
You can learn from both, can't you? And thanks to our listeners for tuning into the Experience Gap, the Insight Shop to the rescue, helping businesses turn great experiences into everyday reality, one story at a time.